Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Mike 56. Mike 56. Let's get it together, defense.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Gonna look deep for Wilson. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
On set. 54, right there. 54, Mike. 61. That's that. Mike. Switch up the go. Come on, switch it. Check. Check hot route. Hot. Off. Hey, watch. Where'd he go? Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
First down, Murray. Going for it all. Got a man, it's caught. For a Ravens touchdown. Albert Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to the ground, this time with Jones. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And a cutback, right sideline. Touchdown, Cowboys! Aaron Jones, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
A gain of 6 there on first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Jim. Wall, Hayden. Get wall. Hey, watch that. Check Mike 54.
Here's Murray. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jannard Avery in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Ravens on third down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Watch the curl. Watch the curls. Mike 50. Mike 50.
From the gun on third down, Murray. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Smith providing a little deja vu. Back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Austin. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
We got to step it up. 56. You go tight. You go team spill. He's checking. He's look out.
They'll run it with Jones. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Set the time, defense. Let's go. 56 to Mike, boy. 56. Check 56. Let's go, team.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
And the key number on that play, 3. 3rd play of the drive, 3rd down, spectacular catch, turns into a 1st down.
1st down saves him from a 3 and out. On 1st down, Jones. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. 23 yards the pickup there.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Boston Scott, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Elliott good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. After the sack on first down, Murray, this into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Shotgun now for Murray. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Here's Austin. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Scott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kyle Fuller. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Pick up the ball. Mike 50. Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you.
From the gun, Murray. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. At a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now Scott. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that.
Check.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
Mike. Pick me up. Here we go. Check three.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From midfield, here's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks him. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll go again to Jones. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check Mike 50. We ain't giving up nothing today.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Allen now looks to throw. That's caught out left by Perriman. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Check safety. Recon, 132 fighter. 55. Right there.
On 3rd down, Scott. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8.
Brings up 4th down.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Here we go. Shoot on the base. Hey, watch the slant. Watch tight end. Go. 40. Check. Go. 40. Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Now on 2nd and 16. Murray. He lets it fly for Lockett. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Allen Robinson, 83 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They run with Ajayi. And an alley to run. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Hey, let's pin the mirrors back and go full strip. Go.
Allen now on 1st down. He's going to have the hook up the sky. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Allen looks to throw on 3rd and 1. He sets up the screen to Jones. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Aaron Jones with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys are able to regain the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this 3rd quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Smith picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points, said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Throwing now is Murray. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple down inside the 35 to the 34. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
Certainly appeared like they had a great chance of that turning into a touchdown, but maybe led him just a bit too much.
Yeah, out of the back of the end zone. And that's tough on a 5-yard pass, but one of that distance, that can be tough to gauge when you're in the back of the end zone. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Murray going to throw. Going to let one fly for Robinson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Brian Bonnie Calhoun. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. On 1st down, Scott. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And an alley to run. Josh Allen, very athletic at 6'5", showing the versatility, picking up the first on the scramble.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Allen Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out, you see, and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
On third down, it's Scott. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
That was shades of Tennessee volunteer football back in the 80s with Charles Davis coming up from the secondary to make the tackle for a loss.
You mean my teammates doing that, right? Because they would tell you, my coach would say, where's that tape? I want to see that. But how about the complete package there? Not just playing the pass, but being a willing tackler and making a really nice play.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Murray now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's going to keep it here. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Level in everything he does and read the clock, feel it in the pocket, and go at the appropriate time.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. That'll bring up second down.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. Those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Check 9. Watch the safety creep.
This is Jones. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
Here's Ajayi. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Jay Ajayi, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Elliott good with a PAT. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. To throw, it's Murray. Dancing to his left. And the pressure gets to him again. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 22 ticks to go in the fourth. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Murray with a 3rd and long. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw is Murray. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Oh, now Murray has it stripped. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now it's Ajayi. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of. But now it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Cowboys, they boost their